FitTech means fitness technology. And I think what we are missing, especially in Germany, is the connection between healthcare, wellness, basically everything that has an impact on our life and on our health.
Networking is a key to every successful business. So I was really happy to be here, meet people and exchange opinions.
I'm totally amazed that there's so many different companies working around different ideas in fit, health, data and technology, and I think this is really great that so many ideas and so many brilliant minds are here to meet up with each other.
And I've been in the fitness industry for 20 years, and I think FitTech is one of the best places to meet anybody from around the world who's in the forefront of modern fitness.
It's absolutely amazing what Wharton Built is offering as a location here. Is just amazing. The people that are here, it's really a unique experience.
I really love it because I was really searching for finally an event about fitness and fitness tech where I could meet so many other entrepreneurs in this field.
I think the energy that I've seen today was the most amazing thing in here. There were some great topics, some great views from different people, but the common thing was everybody is so passionate about what we do.
I like it very much, and I think that it's a great place to meet like-minded people to discuss something about the future of fitness, to create new connection, really great connection. And I think that when all that smart and really passionate people, they come together in one place, something magic happens.
It's a very wonderful, let's say, summit, and the people are very hearty, and I think we should do that more often.
FitTech, the next level.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Guys, how are you today? Woo! How was your trip to the nice Bayreuth? Woo! All right, so welcome everyone. Good morning. Great to see you here. I am Natalia Kabazova. I'm the founder and CEO of the FitTech Club. And welcome to this year's FitTech Summit by the Club. Great to have you with us. Welcome. So today we're going to be speaking about how people can health themselves with the help of technology. Because seriously, we're living in a world where we're mentally not fit, physically also not really fit. We're sitting a lot, we're working in home offices, we don't have time for ourselves, and now there's this small AI thing coming that's probably going to kill all of our jobs. Probably not, we'll see, right? So this is why we think that technology can also give power to the people to become healthier and kind of find their way back to their bodies. And probably people is the most important word here. Because ultimately, guys, it's all about you. It's people business. You are the ones who are working on tech. You are the ones who are creating the future. And by the way, people is also our business. For those of you who don't know this, we run the FitTech Club. And this is the curated business networks for founders, executives, investors in the areas of fitness tech and consumer health. And today is our flagship summit for our friends, members. And by the way, how many members do we have here? Where are you guys? Nice, quite a few. Hello, hello, very good. And yeah, and if you guys think you want to be part of that as well, talk to Paul. He's here. Where's Paul, by the way? He's here. He's the guy to bring you in, and we'll be happy to talk about that. Right, so what's to be expected today? First of all, some content, not too much, because we do want you to network, to really get to know each other. We're going to be having workshops in the afternoon. We're going to be having the FitTech Award. That's my favorite part, to be honest. I'm really waiting forward to grilling some very nice startups from the space. And we're going to be having the after dinner, so stick around for a while for those of you who want to go back to Munich, to the city center. In the evening, we'll have taxi, so stick around. Right. Next. First of all, of course, I need to also say thank you to the people and companies that made this event happen. So, huge thank you to our partners, Wharton Build Verlag, that's Germany's biggest health publishing house. This is their headquarters. Do you like it, actually? I do. I think this is quite nice here. Of course, Skill Court. They are taking care of cognitive fitness training. You will see the setup in the networking area. Test it out, because we'll have the ranking and we'll make sure that the winner will get something very, very special in the evening. And we'll have workshops by Piabo about the healthcare PR. We'll have workshops by Sweatworks, our friends from the United States, about creating connected fitness hardware. And we'll have a very special prize in the evening by our friends from ISPO. Right, so next one. For those of you who cannot get enough already, we have just launched something, and this is still a secret. This is the soft launch of the FitTech podcast. We finally got started with it, so guys, tune in, let us know what you think. I'm very curious about your feedback. Tell us what sucks, tell us what worked best, and we'll continue to do this and do the official launch in a couple of weeks. Right, so, but you know, we're ultimately in the business, as I said, of building relationships. So I suggest that we do this right now, start today, which means the following. You might know that we have a very nice tradition at the FitTech Summit. I really want you to get to know each other. So in the next 60 seconds, I will ask you to get up, look to the left, look to the right, say hello to your neighbor, introduce yourself, and hug them. Get some oxytocin flowing. All right, let's start. 60 seconds. Let me hug you. Hug, hug. All right, guys, it's enough. It's enough. I love it. So this is. You just can't get enough, I know. Guys, this is the point of the FitTech Summit. We want you to get to know everyone in this room, and you will do this later. And now, I love this energy. So now, after this small warm-up, let's get started. We're starting with the first content session, and I'm very happy to welcome our first speaker, Walter Greenleaf from Stanford University. Walter, please come on stage. Hug you. Come on, Walter. So Walter came all the way from United States to join us here. Walter, you are a neuroscientist, entrepreneur, founder, investor. What are you actually not?
I'm not sleepy today.
Well, at least one person in this room. So, Walter, you are considered to be one of the founding fathers of virtual reality. You started.
I'm so glad you didn't say grandfather.
Well, you're not. You look very fit. And you worked very closely with Jaron Lanier, who is well known for his books like Who Owns the Future, for example. He is someone who made this thing happen, the thing we're all landed in now. So tell me about the beginning of virtual reality. How was this for you?
Well, for me, it was sort of a slow start. Back in the day, the computers we used cost $500,000 when we were about this high. Now we have it on our headset. But Jared and I were good friends, and he looked to me to help him build out the medical applications of virtual reality technology. I was an investor in his company. And
was it worth it?
Yeah, absolutely. But one notable fact is back in the day, we didn't have the term virtual reality, and Jaron coined the phrase, and I actually argued with him against it. I thought at the time it was too glib, a little bit too informal. I think it was good, though. It helped people get the concept pretty fast. So I'm glad I lost that argument.
So how do you feel about virtual reality today?
I think we're just getting started. To answer one of the questions that you had up there earlier about how can we use technology to empower ourselves, I think VR is one of the important tools, VR, AR, immersive systems, to help us change our behavior, our attitudes, and get to know ourselves. And it's a powerful tool that is just starting. We're still in sort of the 300 baud modem days of the technology, but it's getting better faster.
So if we're just started now, where do you see VR in health, fitness, wellness applications going in 5 to 10 years to come?
Well, keep in mind it's not just VR technology coming out now. It's enabled by wearable sensor technology, by better analytics with machine learning, with 5G to allow us to do computing at the edge and do cloud-based rendering. There's so many things that we will be able to do very soon that we're almost able to do now. I think we're about to see a big surge forward. I see right now we have so many applications in medicine, clinically, and so many things in the wellness sector, and in fact they're starting to merge a bit.
Well, Walter, you are the founder of and board chair for the International Virtual Reality Health Association. At the same time, we know that health is going through very tough times today. We have doctors going on strike in London, for example. We have a very dire situation in many hospitals in Germany. United States is spending almost 18% of its gross domestic product on healthcare, and still it doesn't help. So give me one example where you think VR can help our healthcare systems to become less broken and people to take their health in their own hands or on their own heads.
Well, I guess one example, I'll give you several examples.
Okay.
One example is that we empower telemedicine by allowing the individual to have an experience as opposed to watching a videotape or reading about something that helps them understand their own health and to give them feedback. We can gamify the experience. We can also leverage technology to have people have insights about their own motivations. For example, one of the projects we've done at our lab at Stanford is create an avatar of your future self that you can have a dialogue with.
Avatar of your future self. Did you do one for you?
Could you say that?
Did you do one for you?
No, I haven't done that
Why
yet.
not?
Just haven't gotten around to it.
Are you afraid?
No, not at all. I think I have a pretty good image of my trajectory, but for many people to understand the reason they might want to exercise or the reason they might want to change their nutritional habits is it's hard for us to see the consequences of the choices we make day to day. So one of the powers of having an experience that activates, in order to change a cognitive process, an emotional process, we have to activate it. And VR is very good at doing that and also rewarding us, making it novel, gamifying the system. So we can change our attitudes, change our behavior with the feedback that we can put through a virtual reality system.
All right, so where we now know that Apple has entered the VR, AR market seriously. Okay, $3,500 is still a bit expensive, but they're working on the less expensive version. So is this a significant event for the industry in terms of health, fitness, wellness, and why?
Well, it is significant in that I think Apple has a reputation of data privacy, and that's an issue for health and wellness, of course. They also have an emphasis on not just addressing healthcare issues, but also moving into the clinical zone. And I think that keeping that artificial barrier between health and wellness and clinical will evaporate as the consumer technology companies move into it. So I think...
What companies do you see in the market right now that excite you?
Well, really, all the tech titans are moving into healthcare. I think with Meta mostly focusing on wellness, but I think we also see groups like Amazon, Walmart. Where we do healthcare is changing, and ideally, it should be where we are, not at a clinic per se. And that's what technology is enabling us to do. And I think VR in particular allows us to come up with systems that promote adherence, which is one of the hardest things to do.
Adherence, yes. Tell me more about that. How do you see this from the medical perspective, and how does this translate into the lifestyle perspective?
Well, medicine and health and wellness is not easy. It requires you need to understand the purpose, understand the value, and have motivation. And one of the things that technology can do for us is close that feedback loop, show us the progress we're making. We can make it engaging and interesting, and also we can connect people to do it together. So technology promotes adherence by making it interesting. We can leverage what our colleagues in the gaming industry or the movie industry know about in terms of making a narrative story arc for your healthcare challenge with helpers along the way and a destination to go to and see your progress. So technology allows us to put a layer of interaction and connection and fun onto what otherwise might be a very painful, difficult, scary process.
We know that in terms of the research and scientific research is quite often an indicator for major trends, just coming a bit earlier than everyone else understands what's happening. And we also know that one of your favorite quotes is that the future is already here, it's just unevenly distributed. Right. So where right now do you see the future spots for VR in terms of health and fitness in the world unfolding?
Well, it's always hard to talk about the future, but what I see is the technology fading into the background. Right now, when we do use enabling technology, it sometimes gets in the way of, when we're typing on our phones or our computers, we're stripping away all the emotional connectivity we have through nonverbal communication and through verbal communication. But with immersive systems, we can be there with someone else and have an experience with someone else and evaporate the distance. So that helps us. You asked earlier about the crisis in healthcare. One of the things that is a big challenge is addressing burnout, addressing stress, and addressing anxiety. And we finally, through the use of these tools, have ways to help address those issues. I think in the future, we will see the technology be part of a health hub, a home health hub. Our automobiles, I think, our smart cars will be not just the office that is parked in our driveway that we might go out to work in because of all the screens around it, but how we go to visit another person while we're having an experience. And I think we're not always going to have things on our face. We're going to have things that are on screens around us or are projected.
Will we have things in our eyes as well? Mojo vision didn't work out ultimately.
I think it's hard to say, but I think we will get beyond that very intrusive way of having a system on your face. And I like what Apple's done in terms of showing the eyes to the people who are in the room with you while you're wearing a VR headset. And as a neuroscientist, I'm so excited by some of the things they're doing with predictive modeling of eye gaze. I think we're finally starting to get, and this is an important aspect of VR platforms, is they're a great platform for capturing what we call affective computing, being able to capture emotions, being able to decompose emotions. We can capture facial expressions, voice tones, eye movement, eye gaze, pupil dilation, so many things that help us along with what people are doing, what they're intending to do, and help us come up with an objective measurement that helps us address some of the difficult problems in psychiatry and psychology.
I love our discussion because we're speaking about the intersection of very different industries from psychiatry to mental health to really clinical issues to healthcare, back to lifestyle again and fitness. So do you think that the industries, these separate segments as such, will cease to exist in the future due to technology?
I'd like to think that. I think that would be ideal. I think the barriers are falling around. The way we've deployed all the items that you mentioned before has been through a specialist. But now the barrier to a specialist can be dropped by leveraging technology, and we can empower, to use the word that was on the screen a little bit earlier, we can empower the individual to participate either as part of their family, as an individual, or as part of a group, their own healthcare journey. So I'd like to think that the divisions between different disciplines will become a little bit softer. I'm seeing some signs of that already, especially with the technology titans coming into healthcare.
What does it take for VR to become a mainstream phenomenon?
A really good movie, I think.
Ready Player One?
That was a good movie, and just a final step. But I think what changes attitudes more than anything else is linking it to very amazing entertainment. It could be, I think right now the problem we have is that putting something on our face that blocks out the outside world, while important when we're dealing with problems like teaching people, distracting from pain, or helping them address post-traumatic stress through exposure therapy, or helping with addictions, we need to do that. But for the rest of the time, I think we need to overlay the world with augmented reality. And I think our technology is getting better at allowing us to do that and I think the cost will come down. It will just be part of how we're interacting with each other, much like you're using a tablet now and you're wearing a smartwatch. I think technology will ideally just be in the background of how we interact with each other and learn more about ourselves.
So what I hear you saying is that VR as such will blend with AR?
Yeah, I think it'll be a spectrum of immersion. And sometimes we'll be looking at a 3D interactive environment that's capturing our eye gaze and our movements, but we're not wearing anything. Sometimes we will be wearing something that maybe gives more precision look at something. But the key point is that these technologies enable a experience on demand. And that allows us to go someplace, do something that we otherwise could not do, break down time and space and provide information, provide entertainment and connections in powerful ways that are difficult to do with our analog technology right now.
You know, we're in Germany and Germans love to have angst, fears about all kinds of different things. Don't you think
I can help there.
Don't you think that VR becoming more and more immersive will kind of distract us from real life and from real interactions and fitness?
I'm not worried about that because I think real life is much more interesting and much more engaging. And you know, we even though we're able to put olfactory stimulus into VR now, I think taste is going to be a problem. I think people will use VR as a tool, but they will be more engaged in real life. I'm sure there's some people who might have issues involving social anxiety, which may prefer to spend a lot of time in a simulated environment, but we also have ways to help them learn social skills and help them reinforce their getting out into the world if that's what they want. But to your angst question, I do worry that this technology, especially the part where we're capturing emotional state and cognitive processing, we need to be able to do this to do a better job of healthcare, especially with an aging population, to be able to support aging in place. However, the same tools that we'll be using to do that could be used by advertisers, or it could be used by dictatorships to search out dissidents, understand their behaviors. So the technology is moving forward, and I think what we need to do is leverage it to do the wonderful things that we choose to do with the technology and provide a pathway for that, and just be really careful about data privacy and good design. And I think, for example, when social networks started out, there wasn't good design. Nobody considered the impact on teenage girls, for example, of having all the likes and other things. I think we need, as we design this next thrust of technology, to really think about the social implications. And I hate to use the term regulate, but I think there are some things that we need to be very careful about. Make sure we have unbiased data sets, for example.
Walter, was it you are invested, or at least you're advisor to around 30 startups?
That's about right, yeah.
How many are you invested into?
How many I invested in? Well, I guess probably all of them, in the sense I invest my time. In terms of those, I do work with a couple of venture investment groups, and through them I probably have a position in 12 of the startups I advise. But many of the groups I work with are sort of on a pro bono basis, helping academic groups spin out their technology, or helping early stage companies get into a higher orbit.
But you're also balancing that out with your research activities. So what is the most exciting thing that you're working on right now?
That's like asking who's your favorite child, or what's your favorite book.
Just pick one.
I'm excited about stroke rehabilitation, to be honest with you. Today,
stroke rehabilitation.
Yeah,
why?
Because we can make a big difference there right now and demonstrate the power that the other application areas, such as helping with addiction, or helping with autism and Asperger's and social skill learning, or there's such a long list of amazing things that we're able to do now. But with neurorehabilitation, and we'll hear later today from Amir from Virtual Leap, there are things that we can do for cognitive and physical rehabilitation that are demonstratively more powerful than the traditional methods. And I think that's a way to show the power of the technology. So I'm excited about it for that reason.
And that's been actually my last question. In 2023, in April, you joined Muse, which is the EEG band. The founder was also speaking at one of the previous summits. And you said what's exciting is that we're going to finally have a way to do more objective assessments of people's cognitive processes. So where does this take us in 3 to 5 years?
Well, I think it's not just the measurement of brain signals like EEG. I think we're also, because immersive environments are a fantastic platform to capture behavior, and in order to measure a cognitive state or a emotional state, you have to be able to challenge the system. You can't just ask someone how they're feeling today or yesterday, or how that...
People lie.
Well, it's hard to verbalize, and some people exaggerate or minimize, or aren't able to connect with their own state. If we can measure it, we can give feedback. And if we can give objective feedback, we can do better research and precision medicine, or precision guidance for someone who's trying to exercise or have better nutrition. I think closing the feedback loop is what the technology is going to let us do. So I'm excited about what's going on with brain health, of course. It's a fantastic progress there. But I think it's beyond just providing those objective measurements just for cognitive emotional work. I think it's also really for all things that we do. Closing that feedback loop, seeing the value of what I did today, and reinforcing it by making it entertaining or connected with other people. We have tools now to do that.
Closing the feedback loop is probably what lots of founders in this room are also working on in terms of fitness, wellness. What's your one message to them from your perspective?
You like to ask for the one thing.
I'm trying to bottom line.
All right, the bottom line is hold on to your seats. I think things are really about to take off. We finally have some amazing tools to challenge an individual, to measure objectively an individual's response, and to connect people. So I think our work is about to just be supercharged.
Thank you, Walter.
Thank you.
So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Walter. Next session.